We're going to start this hour with more on the breaking news from overnight. A two-car collision that leaves 3 people dead on Rock Creek Parkway.
Melanie ALNWICK is live at the scene with the latest on this. Mel, just a horrific crash.
It really is, Steve and Jeanette, so sad to think about 3 people who were riding along Rock Creek Parkway, losing their lives around 1:40 this morning when that crash happened. The vehicle's still here on the scene. Police still probably getting close to the end of wrapping up this investigation. But you can see here, I want you to take a look at the white lines on the roadway, and it appears the one square just behind the U.S. Park Police cruiser may have been the point of impact. There's glass all over the parkway there. And then that dotted white line may be where one vehicle crossed over those yellow lines and crashed into the other. Now, prior to this crash, U.S. Park Police tell us that one of their officers actually made a traffic stop at Rock Creek Parkway and Virginia Avenue. And during that traffic stop, the car fled. The officer did not chase. And it was moments later that vehicle was involved in this crash, the call coming in at 1:40 in the morning. As you've told us, 3 people in one vehicle were killed, 2 adults in the other vehicle taken to the hospital initially with non-life-threatening injuries, but one recently downgraded and is said to be in critical condition. We did ask Park Police what the initial traffic stop was for. They were not able to give us that information. And police explained that they do have policies and procedures that would basically give them rules to follow as to when they would pursue a vehicle and when they wouldn't. And we were told by the public information officer that the criteria did not meet, so that their officer did not pursue the vehicle. A lot of questions still here. We know that people in the area overnight said they heard a loud boom. They didn't know what it was. At first, they thought it might have been a tree. And also witnesses told us as they were driving past, they saw other people stopping, getting out of the vehicle, shouting, trying to get to the victims in the vehicle. And that was just moments before police and rescue crews arrived. Unfortunately, again, those attempts at rescue not successful. It appears that the victims died right here on the scene. So still being investigated as we get more information about what led up to this, perhaps which was the striking vehicle, those sorts of things. We'll be sure to let you know.
Mel, any idea at this point if the victims of the fatalities were the vehicle that ran from police or left that traffic stop, or the other vehicle?
You know, we've been continuing to ask U.S. Park Police for some clarification on that, and we do not know at this point which vehicle that was. We just know that the vehicle that fled the traffic stop was involved in the collision. One other thing, too, we don't have a confirmation at this point whether the 3 who are deceased are adults or not. Initially, we were told they were, and then later Park Police told us they could not confirm that. So still working, I believe, on the identities even of those victims.
All right, Mel, and the road's still closed this morning behind you. It is 8:04. That road closed between K and P Streets just for commuters out there this morning. Turning to